Did you hear about the NUS banning alcohol, or more likely to make alcohol illegal within campus? Do you think this will stop sexual assaults in campus?
It might, but I think that the whole discussion about alcohol is it the cause of all the assault? I think we need to look at assaults in general or sexual assaults. I mean, I think there's a lot of incidents that can happen, but is it related to alcohol? And I think it varies. Sexual assault as compared to other assault. I mean, they're both assaults, but I think the sexual assault is a greater crime that really impacts.
But if you look at the cases that were mentioned in the article in the Straits Times, all the cases never even mention alcohol. It's lecturers being lecturers. It's it's people shooting video upskirt. There's no alcohol mentioned in either of the cases. But why is alcohol being blamed for things like sexual assault? Because look at the campuses in the United States. There was a study by Harvard University in as long as 2001. It says 50% of sexual assault within campus involved alcohol, which means an equal number of sexual assault does not. So it's equal. And yet NUS says it's because of alcohol.
I think we all know a lot of the media has covered like alcohol fueled violence, alcohol fueled riots and stuff like that. I think alcohol is a convenient blame for unrest and stuff like that. But I think it's an innate thing. I think we were talking earlier. There is no crime without an intent. So no matter with or without alcohol, the crime would take place. Based on that person's desire at that point in time. So alcohol basically just is a convenient excuse.
It's called transferring of blame.
Yes.
It's easy. I think being intoxicated, right? You lose your stability to think. You lose your consciousness, and it's easy to blame it. But when you look into crimes, sexual crimes, right? Importantly, crimes are committed without the influence of alcohol. If you're aggressive, means you're aggressive. Alcohol might accelerate that aggression, right? I do not think that should be the issue, but banning of alcohol is a welcoming thing. So you can't find alcohol, so you can't blame alcohol if any sexual aggression happens in campus. It's you. So if you can't find alcohol in campus, you get it outside. And if you were to go like, oh, I will need to return back to campus and do A, B, C, D, means you have that intention even before you drink alcohol. So you should not do it.
Banning alcohol from campus, you actually drive these people with the intent to drink alcohol outside, or even drive them underground. Like, for instance, I want to have a party within campus. I can't. So what do? I go outside and drink, and then come back as a group of party goers, and still assault will happen.
You're in campus, you're supposed to study. That's the basic thing why you are there.
No. I mean,
No.
we all go to
Really?
university.
Or
It's
just
a
to
life
drink.
experience.
Okay.
I think it's beyond just academic. When you stay in the hall, it's the whole culture of young adulthood, living on your own. And I think
I see.
It's the learning to network.
through alcohol.
No, it's living life. It's like you transitioning from teenage to adulthood. So there is like, I'm a young adult. I'm living life. I'm living it up. So I see adults drinking alcohol. I want to try it out. It's campus party, beer pong.
Okay. But then again, it's an institution for you to get your degree, for you to study. It's supposed to be free of all these so-called outside rush or outside radicals.
That's only during academic hours.
Yes.
Post-academic hours. But I feel that it is a societal issue. A lot of these games, alcohol, lifestyle in the universities is actually imported. I mean, what we see from the movies, what we see from Western culture, but is that is there a balance? I don't see a balance. We get influenced by media, we get influenced by what we see around us through magazines, stories, and movies, but there is no counterbalance of, let's say, Asian values, values that, hey, is drinking good or bad? I'm not talking about commercials. I mean, we are young, or they are young, and they are impressionable, but there isn't a balance. I think that's what's missing. I mean, banning alcohol could be quite convenient. You drive it underground, but again, as an institution, it might be a safe place for people to experiment. If there's any assault, there would be people on campus that could address it, could intervene in an opportune time. I mean, I'm trying to see the positive side if allowing alcohol on campus, but I feel it's a bigger issue than just banning alcohol. I think it's a societal issue where there is no balance. We all grew up watching movies, Western culture, but is there any movies that say, hey, yeah, there is safe partying, there is safe experiences in uni, or any tertiary institution? But I see it very lopsided. Maybe it is more fun, that's why you got more media coverage, more excitement, but that doesn't mean that, hey, going out for coffee, networking, talking, discussion, sharing, can be as exciting. I'm not too sure, but I think there needs to be a balance, because now youngsters are only seeing what's hip, but is what you see on Instagram, on YouTube, the reality? They don't see the suffering, the assault, the dangers of it. So I think it's very lopsided, and I prefer more education rather than just outright banning.
How do you want to educate youngsters to exercise control over what they consume?
I
Right?
think that's
It is
where
always testing the limit, right? I can take a little bit more. Some people can handle a glass. Some people can handle 17 glasses. And he can still stand. Why am I,
that's where I feel, as a parent, I took my daughter out, and we made her drink. Gave her the opportunity to drink as much as she wanted, but we were there. As parents, we were there. And that really gave her. And also on the first night out, she was drinking. She went, oh, I can take 4, 5, 6 glasses, And then the second time we went out, she didn't have dinner. She only lasted 1.5 glass, and so we allowed, and we were there as parents, to expose her and let her experience. I think it's all about experiencing, knowing your limits, and experiencing the effect, and she realized the effect of alcohol and the hangover and how she felt, and I think that is an experience where youngsters have to go through, but rather than go through on their own and with their friends, I think they can do it in the safety of their home, or with people that they care for them. And I see that as more and that's the kind of education I'm talking about.
That's exactly what my parents did. My dad especially. The three of us, all girls, we drank wine at home and with dad and mom around. And after that, when we're grown up or when we're in university, there's no need to get really dead drunk, because it's almost like been there, done that, so I don't have to. You look at your friends who have abstained for a long time, and then it's like you have not, or you're prevented from taking candies, and then you're just left in a candy shop and you go crazy. So they're like throwing up next to the drain outside Zouk, and it's not a good look. So you don't go there at all. So again, it's growing up, having your parents there as a fallback, and knowing that, okay, the next morning I will wake up with this bloody headache, then I don't do it when I'm with my friends, because there's no fallback.
So maybe NUS or any universities here should have a drinking course where they allow you to test, allow you to drink, but with the safety network there.
I would disagree. My first question, your family is open for adoption? I would like to be there. Free flow of beer. Okay, now, but that is responsible parents. It's good parenting. or almost good parenting, right? Where you have festive seasons and everybody start drinking, say, okay, why don't you try? And these are the consequences if you drink too much. But if you look into Asian as a whole, it's like, I don't drink, you're still young, go and study, right? So they begin to explore. When things that you do not learn at home, you learn it outside. Now that's where the danger comes. So I think good parenting is important when it comes to alcohol or drinking. You want to do, you do it with me first, then I'll tell you what's going on. But can everybody have that kind of education? It should be from home. It should not be in school. There should not be a course for drinking. Everybody would want to be in that course. I want to be in that course. Get paid and get drunk. Right? But no, I think values should come from home.
I mean, but we live in a world where it's so cosmopolitan. And I think a lot of requirements and pressure has been put on parents. You need to do this, you need to do that. But as parents, you also need to work. You need to, you may not be there. The grandparents may not be able to substitute. The helper may not be able to substitute. But that's why I think society as a large can be different, Why not have a drinking course? We have different courses, wine appreciation. How about a drunk experience course? And think that would actually allow you to practice. I mean, you have flight simulators and stuff like that. Allows you to practice and experience or journey down this path of life that I think a lot of people want to try. I've always tried to drink until I black out. Because a lot of people say you can drink until you black out, but I've never reached that stage lah. But people want to people want to try, and I think it's human nature. The more you hold back, the more you want to try. But again, so I think banning is not the way. So safeguards and limits, I think it's important. I don't know. You can't have a chaperone there every drinking session. So it's bound to, it goes back to the organizers, the young individuals who are experiencing life to know what they can or cannot do. But I don't think banning is the way. It's more education and not your campaign, drink, drive, dangerous kind of campaign. It's more subtle, more community-based, ground-up kind of education. That's how I feel.
As much as I like the whole team, I do not think a course in campus to promote drinking or experiencing being drunk would be the way to it. I still believe in that hardcore values. You go to school means you need to make sure that you do what's right, get your cert first. Then if you understand about how alcohol will react to your body, it should come from home where you are being monitored, where parents know what to do. Then, okay, this is what happens, A, B, C, D. Yeah. The moment you are with friends, the joy is different. Then you become a little bit competitive. Oh, he take 3, I take 2, take 1 more. Then it becomes a competition. Then see who goes flat. That's where the danger lies. When there's drive to be the best drinker, the fastest to get drunk.
But getting drunk doesn't make you so aggressive that there is sexual assault. Because getting drunk is, like you say, some people just black out. Unless you black out and you become a victim. Because here, if it's a girl or even a guy, and you are so inebriated or even incapacitated, then you might get jumped. But if you are a perpetrator and you black out, you wouldn't be able to enact the assault on a victim.
I think alcohol is again a convenient excuse, and once you have the intention, even if you drink outside, you come back.
Then that's already a criminal intent.
Yes.
Right? So
Drink or no drink, he's going to do it.
But then again, when you look into from the eyes of a victim, right? No one ever could stop you from drinking. But why drink till you lose your mind and give an opportunity for people to take advantage of you?
And not being able to protect yourself.
It's all about exercising control. Nobody stops you from drinking. Go drink. But then again, can you exercise the control? If you can't, be around somebody who can protect you, right? It's like walking in a dark alley. The probability of you getting robbed or getting mugged is so high, unless you're with a friend, unless you're with someone who can protect you. So be careful. If you really want to drink so bad, make sure that you are with someone who can protect you. If you're all alone, not everybody is born an angel in this world, right? There are people who take opportunities, right? A crime happened because there are opportunities, right? Like, maybe she won't remember if I were to touch her. So that's from the criminal point of view. So you need to take care of yourself or be around people who can protect you.
So is it always the guy's fault? I mean, it's so convenient to say, hey, get the guys to behave, no? I want to go drinking, we want to go drinking, or as a group. But ultimately, the guys have to behave. You can dress sexily, you can be seductive, but I keep seeing that, hey, it's the guy's fault. I mean, yes, we know from history, sexual assaults are always done by the guy. But I think it again, I go back to society. It takes two to clap. I'm not saying the women say, hey, open up, hey, no, come and assault me. It's how you portray yourself, how you behave yourself, and yes, although Singapore is safe, it's always better to have someone with you, especially if you are intending to go and drink and really party to beyond your limit. You need to protect yourself. It's like you don't go and drink and drive. You make sure someone can send you home, look after you. So I think it's a balance. You don't put yourself in that risk because there are criminals out there, guys and girls.
Yes, like you say, a lot of people said to the guys, keep it in your pants. No one wants to go there with you. But I have to say that I've seen women who are the aggressors. They will drink and they will throw themselves at the guys. And if the guys are not willing partners, they will be the ones who are initiating the whole sexual act. And it's gotten to a point where it's a physical reaction from the guy. So the guys cannot help it. But it's not their fault. Seriously, it's the woman who is the aggressor. I'm sorry to say, but you cannot keep blaming the men. And as a woman, I've seen women who are the aggressors, who would just go up to a handsome Korean K-pop star looking man and try and get his attention. And it's not a nice situation at all. So you can't say, oh, just because he looks good, he wants the woman. But no, he's just having drinks with his friends, and it's this girl who went up to him.
So I think that's important. I mean, yes, guys have traditionally and statistically been the aggressor. But I think in this day and age, I mean, it's fair game. I mean, we see both male and females getting into trouble, being the aggressor. So I think the mindset has to change.
Or even the law. A woman cannot rape. Only men can rape a woman. So when the woman is the aggressor, has the law changed to protect the men in that sense? But no.
I think we need to have a man charter to this.
I don't think so.
It is all about consent, right? If you were to have a sexual engagement, the boy likes the girl likes the boy, consent, done. But when you are high with alcohol, you think you give the consent, but you don't, but you approach the guy or the guy approach the girl, everything is okay when you are high, then you realize, hey, I did not say yes to this.
When the lights come on.
Yeah. So that's when control comes about. If you are drunk, then you need to behave. But then again, how many drunks can behave?
You need to have your friends there.
Is it that you cry? You becomes the biggest person who can swear in all languages? Or you start kissing everybody, including the doorknobs or the person at the door? Or you become someone who just sleep? Or you get horny? Either or.
I thought you said 3. How come you mentioned like 5, 6?
It's like, suddenly I realize, okay, I've been...
But I think ultimately is the respect.
Yes, it's
you
respect.
need the respect for your peers or the person around you. I think once you have that in place, I mean, we did discuss in the earlier on about consent and stuff like that. But ultimately, it comes to the individual respect. So I think there's many factors. There's making sure you're safe in good company. Don't put yourself out in danger. What you drink is how you behave. Then there's consent. I think there's respect. I think there's a lot of factors, and outright banning and targeting one element of alcohol alone, I don't think so. And like what you said, you just drive everything underground.
You know, like you say, respect. You not only respect the other person, you have to respect yourself as well. You respect yourself enough to not commit a crime.
True. If you're sober, if you're drunk, are you aware that you're drunk? Most of the time, people who are drunk, they can't think. Hey, I'm sober. Yeah, I'm sober. Yeah. So it's tough. It's tough. How do you respect someone when you're drunk? Like no, only 11 o'clock I come back home. You know, it's like that. You lose that conscience of simple courtesy, of like I look at you. Oh, okay. Let's not do this. No, you lose that sense. So how do you respect when you start drinking aggressively? You can drink, yes, but how do you stop? How do you stop your inner demon from coming out when you reach that limit and beyond? So that's something that you need to learn from home. So learn self-control.
I think that's where your friends come in.
Yes.
I mean, yes, you may lose yourself, but your friends have to be there to step in. And I do see, groups where one individual has drunk beyond their limit, and the other friends are holding that person down. So I think that's where smart drinking together with peers would actually help. I mean, yes, they would lose their ability to show respect. I think that's where the friends have to come into play. A
And
lot.
smart drinking also involves being streetwise. Like if you are at a gathering, or even if you're at a disco, or places like Zouk. Now, if you have left your drink alone and you've gone dancing and you come back, never pick that drink up again, because you don't know who's put what in where. That's smart drinking.
And you need to be responsible drinkers, which mean do not drink alone, drink with your friends.
Yes.
But everybody needs to be responsible over each other. It's like if you're in national service, right? You always have your buddy. Your buddy will take care of you. You punish one, you punish both, like that.
It's like when you're diving as well, you need a diving buddy as well.
So it makes more sense. Go drink. Be responsible. Not just about driving, but about all other crimes that you might commit. Something like that lah. Yeah?
I think that's a good way to end off. I think responsible drinking, not only just driving, but how you plan, go out, and enjoy yourself.